Hello race fans, sim fans, RC fans, Racing 393. Now in my last video is pretty much my Eclipse 4 by Schumacher. Incidentally, there's now an Eclipse 5. It's taken me that long to get this this particular model out, but anyway, it is what it is. So in my last video, what I was saying was there was going to be one other video to go through the setup process, which I'm almost there. This is like an in-between video. There was a video released a little while ago, say a little while ago, probably a couple of days ago now, of my charging in question regarding charging lipos. It's all been answered now, so there's been huge amounts of help with that. Charging lipos is always deemed a bit like a black art or a dark science, depends when you but it's, you know, if you follow the sort of the basic rules of charging batteries, you can't go far wrong. You know, sometimes things get clouded with information, and there's some information I was receiving which was wrong, and it kind of threw me off. But I like to say that the majority of the information I received regarding the batteries anyway was absolutely right. So okay, so what I'm going to do today, now I've been reading through and watching some videos of people racing these things, and one of the things I have noticed is that the tyres, now I'm going to use the word that's not correct. I come from a racing background, so I'm going to use a layman's term that, just so that you know what I mean, anyone that's watching this that doesn't know. Tyres look very skinny, like thin. So in, you know, proper terms, the profile, a very low profile. They're barely on, you know, they're just like a skin around the wheel, it seems. I know there is meat on the bone, as it were, but these cars, they come with tyres on, or the tyres that you buy, they don't actually come with wheels and tyres, do they, I think? But the tyres are a set amount. So I've got a couple here. I'm going to move my camera so you can see there. So I've got a couple here. So I think I got these ones here. These came with, I bought these with the kit. So they've got the name there. Everyone knows what that means. And I'm looking at the 44mm bit. So they look like this. Now to me, that still looks like a super low profile. I'm going to use that skinny tyres. So them two here, I bought them separately. They came as a set. When it comes to the compounds, I mean, they don't feel any different. So there's probably, again, loads of you out there that say, oh, use 34, use 32, use this, use that. I honestly don't think it's going to be a lot of difference. It's going to really make that much difference at the moment. So what I'm going to do, now I've got some notes here. So I've been told that my rear tyres, although they come at 44, they should be like 42mm. So I'm going to try and take 2mm off these tyres. And the fronts, I mean, the ones that I was going to use, oh, they're the white ones. So the ones that are on the car now, I've got W, they didn't see that. So the rears are kind of at 44. The fronts are quite thick. They're quite a big, tall profile, if you like. That 46. That's a bit high. So I've decided perhaps not to use those white wheels that are on the car now, which if I spin around, see like that, I'm not going to use initially them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use these ones, these front ones, which are them, and those rears. I think, yeah, they've got the three sort of bolt hold for the hub, and they're at 46. So there's quite a lot of foam on those tyres, and they've got to go down to 42. So at least 4mm got to come off. That's quite a lot. So I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to film that because, you know, I've got this machine here. You'll know what that is. I've made a box to go over it so that it doesn't, well, at least it doesn't go everywhere, although it is going to go everywhere. I've got my massive digital calipers. Now these are used on karting and things that I needed. They're a bit overkill for RC. I might have to buy a small one, but they're very accurate. So, and if I just move the camera, yeah, I've got that. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this in a minute, but not at the moment. It's battery powered. I've got my nitro box, which I use regularly, but that's there. They just sort of pin onto there. You know how it is. It's not. I'm not going to. I'm not trying to teach you all to suck eggs. So you could probably teach me more than I know. You've probably forgotten more than I know. What else? So as far as setup is concerned, I've got a 76.4mm rollout. It's going to change when I put the rear tyres on, which will be smaller diameter. It will change. Apparently, from what I've been told from people that race at Eastbourne anyway, they seem to aim for 69. I know rollout is very important when it comes to these things, but it's like I said before, I could probably go out with this car without doing anything and I wouldn't be any different. I think what I'm looking for is a car that's, the important thing, and I think I've read this everywhere, is it has to be easy to drive. Driving these is not easy, and driving them at a pace that's needed to win is definitely not easy. Way out of my league on that one. But I do need a car that's easier to drive. So maybe all this setup will make that process for me a bit easier. There's still loads I need to do. I've got a ton of stuff I need to learn. It's a surprising hobby, being involved in motorsport all my life and participating in motorsport, various sports all my life. It's and RC's only really it's been a hobby which I'm not really a basher. I'm more of a, I just use them. I don't wreck my RC cars. I look after them, and they're mainly vintage anyway. I've got a couple of new ones, but they're vintage. And nitro, that's kind of where I'm at. But when it comes to racing, wow, it is a completely sidestep to what anywhere that I've experienced. So feedback is super important on my videos on this, because everyone's got an opinion. But from everyone on that, Lewis, if you watch this, he's great. I mean, he tells you how it is, and it all makes sense. So there's others, I've mentioned it before, but thanks, Lewis, as always. So if you've got anything to say, you usually say it, and I always tend to, I always take on board what you said. So anyway, I'm going to do this off camera. I'm going to try and turn some of these wheels down, and I'll be back, and I'll show you my outcome. So at the moment, these are not touched. So these front ones are 44mm. I mean, to go down 2mm, I personally, you're going to correct me here, you're going to probably say, don't do it. I'm going to do it. They look all right to me, but I am going to take some off. So 44mm, give or take, 41.5. So even if I got it down to 42 or just under 42, I'll be quite happy with that, even 42. Yeah, anyway, that's what I'm going to try and do. I'll be back in a jiffy. So I've done a quick sort of flyby with it. As you know, makes a real mess. And I've just measured it. It was, what was it? Fronts 44. So it doesn't take much, and it's already down to 42.6. So I only need another sort of a mil. I mean, I'm just trying to look at that now. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can see that. It's definitely, that's the one that's standard. The one on there is definitely lower. I'm gonna go just down another fraction, not much, and then I'll take it off and show you the difference on the camera. Yeah, interesting. It's surprisingly, I will say surprisingly easy. It's also surprisingly easy to overdo it. I hardly made the, I mean, I've got the, it slides on the block, and it's only got to touch the tyre, and it takes the shed load off, so I've got to go down a tiny bit more, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so that's done. That's now, I've measured it, and it's just literally just touching the foam. 41.58. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave this set to where it's at, because this will take that down now to the for the next one the same, hopefully. It's going to take a lot of rubber, foam. So it's going to be, I mean, to me, yeah, you can definitely see the difference. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if you can see it from there because the light's not great, but that's, one on the left there is standard, and the one on the right is kind of how it is. Now, I'm aware that maybe I don't really want to, the edges are already chamfered. I'm going to leave them, only because I don't want to move this. Unless you do the front and then you move it to chamfer it. I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah. Anyway, I'll show you. I'll take them off and show you. I've got rubbish light here at the moment, so yeah. But let me just disassemble it. Okay, so that's the one that's done. You can see it looks like super skinny. That's the, is that right around? Yeah, definitely. That's the one I've got to do. So yeah, I'm trying to, you know, when you're doing like measuring things that got to give, you've got to get that resistance right on. Even though that says 44 on the box, there's a bit of play, so it's more like 43.7. It says on here. There's no like play against the calipers, so that's 43.7. And I do these ones. And there's a shed load of play there, so we're just going a bit further. Yeah, 41.58. So I would say it's quite a successful exercise. So I'm just going to put the other wheel on there now. I'm just going to go straight through like a scythe. Gone. Hopefully that will work. And then I'm going to set the rear wheel up on there. I'll probably show you them as well, like one up before and after. And then we'll fit them onto the car once I've tidied up. But yeah, what a mess. Horrible. Got to do this indoors. My missus is, well, she's out. She knows I'm doing this though, so. Anyway, let me put the other one on and I'll be right back. And there we go. So the front tyres are turned down. 41.58. Depends how hard you do it, and depends where on the wheel you do it as well. To me, there's nothing on there hardly now. I think one does look a little bit skinnier than the other, but anyway, it just looks like I'm putting wheels on there without tyres. But anyway, I've done it. And the thing I've learned is you can't take too much off all the time, and that might sound obvious to a lot of you, but small increments, bit by bit. The actual block itself is just flush. So when that's just flush, the front wheels, nevertheless, are down to 41.5, just over. Has to be flush though, but there are some marks on here that someone's put on there, but I think I might use it just flush or just before, and then I don't know, these marks, I'll see if they kind of, you can see it now, whether these marks line up with the rear wheels. So it's a lot, I mean the fronts were the biggest, you know, so they started off at 44, whatever it was, down to 41, it's quite a lot. The rears ain't quite as much, so it's 2 mil to come off the rear tyres. Okay, let me do that. I've got to tidy up the rest of it down there. Look, put a box over, but it seems to work fine. Okay, I think it's very successful. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. So that's one of the rear wheels done. 42 point, depends how I'll do it, but 42 mils about the right. I mean, 0.3 should be fine, but that's that one. That's the standard size, and that's the new, sort of out the box. So there's a big difference. So I'm going to leave that on there. 42 point something. I'll try and get as close as I can. And we'll go from there. It looks alright. It's nice and flat. It looks good. Makes a freaking mess though. It goes everywhere. It's down there. Look, well, I've emptied one of them out already. But yes, lovely. Anyway, one more wheel to go, and then we'll tidy up, and I'll put them on the car. Show you what I've done. So that's the rear tyre done. On that side, 42.3 on both rear tyres. That's a friggin' mess. Got to clear up, boxes down there. Yeah, absolutely diabolical. Definitely need like it should have a cover, shouldn't it? I've seen with covers, but you can't stop it. It sort of goes on your hands and sticks and everything. So if you take too much off, it smokes like a tyre. So you don't want to overwork it, and you can also burn the motor out as well. So don't really do that. So I'm going to clear up. We're going to put these wheels and tyres on, see how the chassis sits. I suppose the next video is going to be like a setup. I'm going to get the car sort of race stance. Another quick question, if you're watching this far in, that's also useful for anyone out there. Do the tyres last more than the meeting? When you've got additive on there, they get all sticky and gooey, don't they? So what's the score? They last a meeting? Do you change them? I mean, I've got to turn those ones down, the white one, which I'll do at a later date. And then what do you do? Do you take the tyres off? Do they come off? Do you throw them all away, the wheels as well? What happens? That's something. Otherwise, you're going to buy these wheels and tyres, turn them down, use them, they're knackered, throw them away. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. But I'm guessing you've got to get these off somehow. Do they just tear off? Or do they just come off? Is there an additive solution that you put them in and it just falls off? Let me know. Just let me know your thoughts. What you do, what someone else does. All useful. Anyway, that's that. That'll change my rollout, definitely. So I'll work out my rollout in a minute. Once I've measured the wheels and tyres. And I'll clear up and go from there. So see you in a bit. Right, so that's all done. That was a messy job. So the wheels and tyres are now on the car. The ones that I will actually use when I actually go to the race meeting. I think I've got a crappy soldering connection here on this motor. I'm going to have to do something with that, because when I move the wire, you can see it moving where it's soldered. The others are not too bad. But yeah, anyway. So we've got some new settings. I have made a bit of a mistake, but anyway. So I've turned all the tyres down. Left front tyre is, I've done a bit too much on this one, 40.56. The right front, the other side, 41.34. There's quite a big difference actually. Not that you can see it. It's probably going to make the car unstable on the straight, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go over the shot anyway. I don't know what to do, whether I'll leave it for now. I'm not going to worry too much. The rears are quite happy with them, so 42.51 and 42.74. So the left rear 42.51 and the right rear, that one, 42.74. And the new rollout, it was in its other form, standard tyres, 76.4. It's now what, 74 millimeters. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, I know for a fact that the pinion should be 42 teeth. It's 41. I can't get a 42. So it's got a slightly smaller pinion than perhaps what it should have. If I went down to a 40, or sorry, you need a 41. It's a 42 at the moment. If I went down to 41, then the rollout will be 72.2. So it makes a big difference. I've got my calculator app here. So rollout is, from what I've read and been told, super important. Yeah. it's I'm quite happy with what I've done so far. So we're getting there. I think the next stage now I've got the tyres on, the wheels and tyres that I'm going to use, I can now do a setup, and I'll go by what's recommended roughly, and I'll measure it all, put any adjustments in that I need to do. What else is there to do? There is quite a lot to do, but I think the shock oil, well, the oil that's in the dampers, the sliders on here, is adequate. I've got the correct one, I think, in the centre. I don't think I'm running the one that you should run in the side. I've got notes. People have been telling me what to do on there. And also another question, I'm just thinking about it earlier on. Once your tyres, you put the wheels on as I put them on, they should stay on that side of the car. Am I correct in that? So you've got to use that wheel and tyre here and so on and so forth. You shouldn't mix and match, i.e. swap them over from side to side. Does that make a difference? I guess it does and doesn't. Does it matter? Does it matter? Doesn't it matter? I said it twice then, didn't I? Anyway, I think that'll do this video for now. I've got some other bits and pieces I've got to do to it, but so far so good. Tyres done. I might show you a quick shot with a shell on there to see how the wheels fit. They were quite snug, or the fronts were definitely in these arches. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly just put the shell on and just show you quickly before I do a closing. So there we have it. The tyres are on, the wheels and the shell. Haven't trimmed the body post yet. That's probably my next job. It looks more like kind now of what you see online and what I've seen pictures of people racing them. So I'm quite pleased with its looks. I know it's not going to be super accurate, but that probably, to me, that does make a difference. Making sure that they are like the right sizes. But yeah, I mean, that looks. I think it looks better with black wheels actually. So what's next? So I'll do a quick closing and then let you know my plans for the next video. So the next video is going to be a setup, ride height adjustments, etc. I've got some settings for like width. I think I'm pretty much fixed with what I've got, if I'm honest with you. I have measured the rear axle. Mine's like 170, well actually it's pretty less than that now because I've got different wheels on. It was on the white wheels 174.2 and they reckon about 171, but I've got stock. There's nothing, I'm not going to start buying axles and things and getting, you can't go much narrower because of the width of the chassis there. So I don't know quite how you're going to get down to 171 unless you run narrower wheels at the back, but I don't think you can get them, can you? I'm going to leave the spur, and well, the spur gear is what it is, 76 teeth, pinions 42, do with 41. If I can find a 41, if one's in stock and I happen to see one, I'll probably buy it. Let's put it on. The battery charge is no longer a problem, so that's almost fully charged, that battery. I'll have to do something with that, or use it or something. I don't like it sitting there, it's not fully charged, but and we're coming up now, so it's going to be the 15th next Sunday week, but I'm due to go to Eastbourne just to have a look. I take my car with me, I'm not using it, it's a club meeting apparently. But during next week I've got to sort out an overnight stay for the two days meeting the following week, and also my membership card hasn't come yet. I have joined the BRCA. So I'm not quite sure why that hasn't turned up, or do they just, I mean I've got a membership card, a membership number, I guess they know that I'm there anyway. I'm booked into both meetings, both days. I've got to find somewhere to stay. Does anyone know a decent place to stay down at the Eastbourne track? I mean I've looked, there are a travel lodge or something's ideal for me. I'll have a look. But this video will go out sooner rather than later for the feedback. I'm sort of use this as a way of communicating with things that I need to know. Yeah, so there is at least, there is a travel lodge down there. But is that what you would do? I mean, let me know what you do. If you're going to race there, let me know. I might even, if you're there next week, anybody, I might even see you. That's it. So I thought I had something else to say, but I don't think I have. I'll pretty much, if I think of anything, I'll add it in the next video, which will be during the week, the setup one and a closing really, and I'll get everything. I've got to get another battery before next 2 weeks. We should go with 2. Is there any other stuff that I need when I'm going to a meeting? You know, do I need like power there? I mean, it must be, because you've got to charge your batteries. But what do they do? Do they... I mean, how much stuff... I mean, I've seen how much stuff you guys take. You guys as in RC people that race. Mental. I don't have that much. Just give me an idea of perhaps what I definitely shouldn't forget. I mean, there's obvious ones. Battery charger, tools. But just give me an idea of perhaps certain things that... Don't forget this, you know, blimey. I mean, there's people there that will probably help anyway. But it's all getting rather real now. Yeah, anyway, that's it. Can't think of this, I'm just sort of rambling. Thank you for those that watch. Thank you for the in advance for the input. It is appreciated hugely. And I shall update you during the week, but look forward to your comments. Please like and subscribe, share, and sort of spread the word. There's a lot of people that are interested in this LMP12 class. I read a lot of it online and on various YouTube channels, so yes, it is a very popular subject. But anyway, thanks again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.